All right, but before we need to talk about today's World Cup matches, I think by now one thing has become very clear. This tournament has been absolutely destroying expectations. Brazil shocked everyone after drawing against Morocco. Portugal dropped points against DR Congo. Belgium failed to beat Egypt. Uruguay couldn't finish Saudi Arabia. And even Spain, one of the tournament favourites, somehow finished 0-0 against Cabo Verde. But then suddenly, everything started changing. Germany exploded with 7 goals against Curaçao. Canada completely destroyed Qatar 6-0. Switzerland absolutely dominated Bosnia 4-1. Argentina finally looked like champions again with a 3-0 win over Algeria. So after watching this tournament closely, I think we're starting to understand something very important. The slow starts are over. Big teams are beginning to find rhythm. And tonight, 4 massive matches could completely confirm that pattern. Let's begin with probably the biggest statement team of this World Cup so far, Germany. And honestly, what Germany did against Curaçao wasn't just a win. That was a warning to the entire tournament. 7 goals, relentless attacking, constant pressure for 90 minutes. And more importantly, they finally look like the Germany that football fans have been waiting to see for years. Now compare that to Ivory Coast. Yes, they beat Ecuador 1-0. But here's the thing, that match was much closer than the scoreline suggests. Ivory Coast struggled creating consistent attacking chances and spent large portions defending deep. Now against Germany, defending deep becomes extremely dangerous because Germany right now looks like a team playing with confidence again, and confidence changes everything in tournaments. I honestly think Ivory Coast will compete physically, but over 90 minutes, Germany simply looks too strong. My expectation here, Germany controls possession. Germany creates far more chances. I'm expecting somewhere around 2 or maybe even 3 German goals tonight. Ivory Coast might find one, but Germany should take this. Now this one feels much easier to read. Curaçao enters after suffering the worst defensive collapse we've seen so far in this World Cup. 7 goals conceded against Germany, and tournaments can become dangerous after results like that, because once confidence breaks, teams usually struggle recovering quickly. Now Ecuador lost narrowly against Ivory Coast, but I actually liked what I saw from Ecuador. Their structure looked organized, midfield looked disciplined, and unlike Curaçao, they didn't lose control of the match. So for me, this isn't really about Ecuador being incredible. It's more about Curaçao looking completely exposed defensively. And after what happened against Germany, I think Ecuador knows this is a huge opportunity. I see Ecuador controlling this game from early minutes. Curaçao may fight harder than last match, but I still expect Ecuador to score multiple times. Most likely 2 goals, possibly 3. Very difficult game for Curaçao. Now this match might quietly be one of the most interesting games tonight because Japan right now looks extremely dangerous. A lot of people ignored that Netherlands match, but drawing 2-2 against the Dutch tells us something important. Japan is playing with confidence, fast transitions, very organized movement, and tactically they look much stronger than many expected. Now look at Tunisia. Their 5-1 loss against Sweden exposed major defensive problems, and what worried me most wasn't the result. It was how easily Sweden kept creating chances. That tells me Tunisia is struggling badly when facing quick attacking movement, and Japan specializes in exactly that style. Now I don't think this becomes a blowout. Tunisia usually stays disciplined, but Japan enters with much stronger momentum. I think Japan controls most of this match. Tunisia may keep things close early, but over 90 minutes, Japan should create enough chances. I'm expecting maybe 1 or 2 Japanese goals here. Very slight upset chance, but Japan feels stronger. Now this is the match I'm watching most carefully because Spain suddenly became one of the biggest surprises in the tournament, and not in a good way. Nobody expected Spain to draw 0-0 against Cabo Verde. That result changed everything because now questions are starting. Was Spain simply unlucky, or are they struggling under pressure? Now on the other side, Saudi Arabia already held Uruguay to a 1-1 draw, and historically, Saudi Arabia has always been one of those teams capable of frustrating stronger opponents. They stay compact, they defend with discipline, and they wait for mistakes. Now obviously, Spain has the stronger squad, much stronger technically, better midfield, better depth, better overall quality. But after watching this World Cup, I'm no longer calling any match easy because early favourites have already punished every analyst. I still lean towards Spain, but I think this becomes much tighter than people expect. Saudi Arabia can absolutely make this uncomfortable. I expect Spain to win narrowly, probably 1-0 or maybe 2-1. But out of every match tonight, this feels like the biggest upset danger. So after analysing everything we've seen in this World Cup so far, tonight feels like a huge turning point. Germany looks strongest. Japan looks extremely dangerous. Ecuador has a perfect opportunity. And Spain might be walking straight into a dangerous trap. The biggest lesson this World Cup has taught us already, stop trusting reputation, because this tournament has already humbled almost every prediction.